My friend lost money and opened a restaurant in Spain, not because he didn't do his research, but because he thinks he didn't expect it. You know how life arbitrage works. We will break down every step, from opening the restaurant to the mistake that led to its closure. And yes, this is another story of one close friend who came to Spain as a foreigner and bet his savings into this restaurant. So pay attention to the details, what went right and what went wrong, and how we can use it to learn and avoid his mistake. But hey, you know me, and also I will show you the real cost, the process, and the advantage that nobody mentioned. So let's start. So you want to open a restaurant, you go to the idealista.com and you have two options, rent and transfer. Obviously, you can build a new again, but we'll talk about this later. The difference here in these two options is that with a rent, you have to create the brand and settle yourself, while with a transfer, you buy the brand and that's it. In other words, they give you the business already running and can be from 5,000, for example. If you have to pay the fee for change the name, but it's easily, it's already there. The first mistake you can make in this point. If you select the transfer option, you don't know the real reason why it's being sold. Thinking about, if everything is going so well, why would you sell it? In my friend's case, he choosing a place that was 4 months without being used, and he has no equip for 15 euros per month. Just like that, sell. And I start selling? Not so fast, my friend. So what is next? The paperwork. Okay, so you need a license. In his case, the owner of the premises already have one. Possible error here. If you open a new establishment, to obtain the license, it involves additional process and more expensive paperwork, and it must adapt to the new requirements. And how I activate my licenses? They will send an architect to verify that everything is working as indicated. The visit costs 500 euros. If everything is approved, you pay a fee of between 200 and 300 euros, and they will issue you a provisional license. After 15 years, licenses arrive, but you already can open. This includes the sale of alcoholic beverages and food. And what about the restaurant? You need, if we don't have equipment, how is the cost about that? So kitchen, freezer, and electrical grill, around 4,000. You also needed to paint and decorate. Before committing to rent, my recommendation is that you estimate this expensive, so don't you go over the budget, and fire safety inspections, around 15 euros. That process can take 2 days. Easy, right? So once open, what will the maintenance cost be? Rent 15 euros plus a 2-month deposit. Gas around 80, electricity 120, water 200, property tax 80, alarm system 120, cash register include the building software and table management software. Rent is 120, includes the final scale for tax purposes. So that lets us a result of the final cost 1,085 without food. And if you want to see more opportunities like this, not only in Spain, but around the world, join me and be the first 100 subscribers. Remember, it's free. And another interesting aspect is brand collaboration. You see, when you are walking down the street and you see a brand logo or awning or sign at the restaurant, well, let's see what is behind it. You can contact a brewery. For example, Estrella de Galicia they'll provide you with an awning, 6 tables, and 24 chairs in our case. Due to the exclusive agreement, there was no minimum purchase or commitment period. You negotiate the beer price similarly with Coca-Cola. They might provide some signs or vinyl decals for decoration. Always contact at least 3 or 5 companies and choose the one is best for you. Food is cheaper at macro because you buy a bulk and they can offer you a free shipping. And now we go on to the taxes. My friend opened a restaurant has a autonomous, so the first year you pay a flat rate of 80 euros and then monthly between 150 and 200 euros. But wait, to register as autonomous in Spain, you need a visa that lets you work here. If you still figure out how to get here legally, I ranked all 5 visa options in this video. So we come back to the taxes. You pay your VAT return quarterly. Any VAT your overpayment is refunded through a lawyer. If there are little left over, it's kept as a credit. One possible error in this section can be trying to handle the taxes for yourself. Trying to manage your taxes yourself can be tedious and confusing. Remember, new country, new rules, or lead to mistakes. A tax advisor will cost you around 30 euros per month and handle everything for you. So for the external application like a Glovo or Just Eat, they took between 10 and 20% of your sales. Each company has its own equipment and delivers drivers. You receive a billing report and then pay you at the end of the month. So what's happened if you need to hire someone, a new employee? Well, they must have their full handling certificate. Also, the salary is around 1,200 euros per month plus Social Security for 40 hours. Important note here, if you open a business as autonomous, you can only hire a family members. Otherwise, you will have to create a corporation. If we make an estimate plus the monthly cost, and since everything can vary from month to month, we could say that it will take between 1,500 or 2,000 euros per month to maintain it, all the business. So well, if everything was okay, what went wrong to shut it down? And this is the part when the decline starts. They found a good location within a neighborhood, but the locals still saw the place as a cafe because it's what to use it to be before. So people didn't know they now have extended hours and different offerings. Because of this, they focus more on deliveries and Instagram advertising. They noticed that they sold a lot through delivery at night. This means they will need to hire another person for those hours and strengthen their delivery advertising strategy. And given the conditions they were operated under at the time, they decided to not adapt to the changed market, which lead a higher degree of investment and time. So, to withdraw and not lose money, they spoke to the owner of the establishment to arrange a transfer. That's it. To sell the brand as it is, with all the equipment, and thus avoid losing too much money. And luckily, they succeed. What will you do if he try again? He replied, first, more capital for hire more people. Second, know the real reason a place being sold before you transfer it. Third, don't manage your taxes alone. At 30 euros per month, advisors save you a lot of time and mistakes you can do. And fourth, do your market research on both shifts, not just one. Nice sales where the opportunity, they miss it. So that's what it is. Tell me, what have you learned from opening any business? Leave your opinions in the comments so we can all learn from that. But wait a second, this isn't the only investment opportunity. If you're interested to buy a house where most Spanish put the money for less than 15 euros, I make a whole video about that here.